Hello, everyone. My name is Jennifer from Natural Blends, and today we have a special guest. We have David Norec, and we are going to talk about a subject that I think this is like the silent killer besides high blood pressure. And I firsthand experienced this with my father. He lost complete vision, and I know that David has experienced it as well. And a lot of us here around the United States have experienced either a loss or someone who has been disabled due to diabetes. And that's the topic we're going to be touching today. So welcome, David. Nice to have you with here with Teas and Conversations. I'm excited for you to share your book, what you're doing with our locals here in the Rio Grande Valley, but also what you're able to share with the entire United States, because I think this is extremely important. Can you tell me a little bit about what actually got you to write a book like this? Because it's really interesting to me.
Yeah. Hey, Jennifer, thank you so much for having me today. Unfortunately, what inspired me to write this book was personal tragedies. In 2013, I lost my brother to diabetes. In 2014, I lost my sister to complications from diabetes. And it was from those tragedies that I was inspired to write this children's book. This children's book right here called The Adventures of EXO and Psy. And I was driving home from work one day, and it was a simple prayer I made. It was, Lord, if you want me to do something different with my life, put it in my heart right now. And I got the idea to write a children's book, calling it The Adventures of EXO and Psy, a play on the word exercise, who live in the town of OB City, like obesity, where the mayor, Diabetes, wants everyone to be unhealthy. And in this first book, she sends Chip and his dog Nacho, or potato chips, to steal everybody's snacks. And within the book, there are 11 different exercises that kids of all ages are encouraged to do. So whoever reads this book, it's interactive. They get an exercise workout. And my hopes with this is to bring awareness to the importance of healthy eating and the importance of exercise in our daily lives to combat naturally something like diabetes.
Wow, amazing. I love that. I love the fact that the children actually get to see that potato chips, right? That's his name. That he's
Chip and Nacho, yes.
Nacho is like they're like the bad guys, really, right? So, that alone is just educating our children, and not only our children, but our the parents, because when a parent interacts with a child, I feel they pick up so much more when they're doing it with their children, and they come to this realization like, oh my goodness, I need to stop bringing this to my home. I need to stop bringing the chips, and I need to start exercising with my kids, because this is an awareness. This gives you an outlook on what you really should do with your children and what can prevent diabetes. And exercising, of course, is one of the, that's one step. Eating, portioning what you eat is another way to fight diabetes. But just being aware of diabetes, what are the signs and symptoms? Can you tell me a little bit about some of the signs and symptoms of diabetes?
Yeah, there's different signs and symptoms. One is rapid weight loss, uh, frequent thirst, frequent urination, things like that. You start feeling fatigued, and there are things that if you don't, we know our bodies better than anybody, right? And so if we aren't keen on noticing different changes in our body, sometimes we think, well, we're getting older, my eyesight's not as good, now I get thirsty more often, whatever. And if we're not careful, something like diabetes can creep up on us, and it's pretty tough once it does. So yeah.
It really is scary. And I personally have seen, and I have a lot of clients who have diabetes, and they're battling it, and it's extremely hard if it's not caught like at an earlier stage versus being caught when you lose complete vision. Like my father, that he lost his complete vision, and he did not know he had diabetes. He was not aware of, I didn't even know the term diabetes back in that time. So it's kind of scary. And I think that's been part of my journey, just myself, is staying healthy, making sure that I eat properly, educating my children. And because I've seen so much, I've seen what somebody who has diabetes, what they go through on a day-to-day basis, because not only does it affect you, it affects your heart. You're more likely to have heart disease. There's so many other complications. If you get a wound on your body, the wound may not heal as fast as somebody who does not have diabetes. So I think those are a lot of things that we can prevent if we choose to eat right. Exercise is extremely important, and just educating our children right now more than ever, because I don't think they educated us in school about diabetes. Do you get educated about diabetes?
I really don't remember that anything like that. But then again, when we grew up, it was kind of hadn't taken off, unfortunately, as it has now. So, but yeah, I don't remember any kind of like education towards that.
About what you're doing in the schools right now, because I find that extremely interesting, because I think if I would have been a student and an author would come to my school and tell me about diabetes, then I'd be a little more aware. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so two things. I created this company called FitLit, or Fitness Literacy. And number one, I want to bring awareness to health and exercise. But two, I also want to make learning and reading fun. So when I go and do my presentations, it's very interactive. I tell the kids that they're going to be a part of the story. And by that, I mean, there are 11 different exercises in the book. So when we get to one of the exercises, the kids, instead of sitting down, they'll get up and we'll do the exercises together. So by the end of the presentation, they've gotten a full exercise workout. And on top of that, hopefully they've had fun reading, which a lot of times, especially nowadays, kids are having a hard time sitting down and just reading a book. So when I wrote this book, I wanted it to be something completely different that's out there on the market. I don't want to go to a school presentation and have the kids sitting down all through the presentation. I want them to get up. I want them to exercise, move around, laugh, have fun, and get a workout. So that's what I do going out there. It's very interactive, and yeah.
That is so awesome. That excites me, because I have a grandson who's 4 years old, and I want him to read, and he loves, watching cartoons and stuff, but I want him to have that same excitement, as far as when someone goes to his school, that he sees that reading can be fun, that they can interact. And there's this one show that he watches, and it has him interact, but it's like wiggle your arms, and it's part of a program that they here that they have for children. But I see that he interacts so well with them, and he's like, play it again, grandma, play it again. And I'm like, oh wow, this definitely needs to go into video format.
I hope so. Sometime soon. I hope so. I really do.
Definitely. Can you tell me? I found something really, really interesting. It really just, like, I was just blown away when I seen this, and I saw that you had these big old posters in parks, and I was like, oh my goodness, how cool is this? This is something we need this here. Every park needs to have this. Tell me about that. I want to hear a little bit about that.
Yeah, so these are called we call them Fit Lit Parks. And what we're doing is we're taking the book and we're printing each page on a 24 by 36 big metal sign. And we're putting these signs along walking trails in parks. And so families, they go, there's different stations, they read one page, they keep walking, they get to another page. And when they get to a page with an exercise, we're going to have a QR code there on that page. They can scan that QR code, and it'll send them to a video guiding them into that exercise. So families, they walk together, they read together, they exercise together. And right now I've partnered up with a wonderful organization called Unidos contra la Diabetes here in the Rio Grande Valley. and they have sponsored, I believe, 4 or 5 of these parks. We're in talks of getting them into the 3 state parks here in the Rio Grande Valley, as well as 2 more city parks. And I just visited a school in PSJA, and they printed out their own signs and they put it along their trail in a park next to them. So my hope is, get these parks out there so families could walk together, read together, exercise together, spend quality time together. What more can you ask for?
Absolutely. I love that. I think the first step is just parents learn, getting this sense of like, let me take my kids to the park, right? Switching the mindset instead of saying, let's go to McDonald's. Because the
Yeah.
McDonald's have play systems like they used to. I don't know if you remember, they would have like where they could actually play. They don't, I don't, here in the Valley, I have not seen any. So, just getting that, putting that into place. I remember taking my kids to the park, and I'm like, okay, guys, go run, go have do something. But that would have been so cool to be able to interact with them, because I did interact with them playing basketball and stuff like that. But that's cool. I really like that, and I think that is going to be amazing. We really need this. We need this here, but we also need it in other places. I really see this growing and being something that parents can do and with their children. And it's going to change. Like, this is something this is a revolutionary thing. This is something great. It's awesome. And I have seen some parks where now they're even adding some type of workouts, right? But it's not the same as interacting with your parent, because children want that. They want interaction with their parents. And so if the parent is with them and they're interacting, I think it's a great experience for them, and this is awesome. And it's a great way to share awareness, not only on diabetes, but just obesity itself, because there are people that you can be obese, and there's people that they don't have diabetes. Obesity can cause so many other things, and it can cause like inflammation. It is inflammation. It causes heart disease, and it just kind of like paralyzes you from like going forward and doing things with your family and getting out there, because it's tiring to carry more weight on your body, right? So I really, really like the book. For those of you who watch this video, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and put David's link in the bio. So if you'd like to purchase one of his books, you can do that. And then I believe you have them. Where do you have them? You have a website?
I do have a website, davidnorec.com. They can reach me there, EXOCYSE@gmail.com as well. The books are available on barnesandnoble.com, and the ebook is available on Amazon. But if you go through my website, though, there is a YouTube video where I read the book and a personal trainer comes and does all the exercises. It's about 28 minutes long, and I guarantee you're going to get a good workout by watching the entire video.
Oh, wow. Absolutely. So it would be best that they actually go to the website. The website would have more interaction. You can do it at home. You don't even have to go to the park.
No.
You can do it at home, right?
You can do it from your home. And the new books that we're having printed out, they're going to have a QR code in the actual book where you can scan it, and it'll take you to the personal trainer doing that exercise, showing you how to do the exercise.
Wow, that's amazing. That is extremely amazing. I love it. I haven't seen anything like it. It's extremely something that we do need. This is something that I think everybody needs, exercise. And, exercise, for those of you who don't know, it's like a natural antidepressant, and a lot of people do not understand that even children have depression, and they do get anxiety. And so when they're able to release that by exercising or playing in the playground, it really, really helps their mental health. And exercise is that's the most natural way of releasing any type of tension in the body, and anything that, if you're feeling depressed, just going out for a walk, doing things like that, it's definitely going to change the way the chemicals in your brain, it's just going to change everything. So I really, really think that this is something that parents need to become more aware of, because we're living in times where our food is just it's not getting better, you guys. The food is not getting better. And at the end of the day, we have to take that responsibility and be mindful on what we're going to feed our children. We have to put in that extra effort. And I know that a lot of times parents are extremely busy and they're working, and the first thing they want to do is just pick up something to feed the kids. And it's pizza or fast food. And you just have to learn how to put some balance in that, because if we don't start now, there's going to be a really, really bad crisis, way worse than what we have going on right now. And
one of the things when you were talking, and I was just thinking about it, what's really sad is a lot of times parents will not feed their pets the things that they would feed their kids. And that's shocking. When you ask a pet owner, would you put some soda in their dish to drink? Absolutely not. Would you feed your pets potato chips? Absolutely not. Why not? Well, they might get sick and die. Oh, okay, but you'll give it to your kids, who are more important than our pets. And that's really shocking to me. When I go to present, I like to put that out to the kids, and they're always shocked to hear that, that they're the stuff that you would never feed your pets, you put in your body.
Like they say, I believe, like the Chihuahuas, they get diabetes pretty quick, the Chihuahuas. So that's why a lot of people are like, no, you can't give it to my dog, because the Chihuahuas, I think they're very known for diabetes. And that's because
I didn't know that.
But that is extremely, that's the truth. The truth is, we are responsible for our children. We have to educate them, and we have to make sure that we're bringing in the right foods for them. And there's simple ways to go around it, because I'm a parent and I know what it is to come home after work and feel tired. But I did have my father with me, who I was watching, like, slowly, he lost his vision. He had ulcers on his foot. I was seeing him deteriorate in front of me, and I was like, oh no, I'm not letting this happen to my kids or myself. And just picking up a rotisserie chicken, and taking that home, that saved me time from cooking. Here's a rotisserie chicken, let's make a salad, or if the kids don't want salad, something that they will eat, but at least it's not fried in vegetable oil, which is very cancerous, by the way. A lot of inflammation in the body. And not only that, but the salt, the amount of salt that's all in the food, and so there's ways to do it. You just really have to put in a little bit of time, and it's going to save you a headache later, because when you get older, you don't want to hear your child when they're 30 years old saying, hey, I have diabetes, by the way, or hey, by the way, I went to the doctor, I wasn't feeling good, and they just diagnosed me with high blood pressure and diabetes. And you're like, what? But how if I don't have diabetes, right? But we were taken care of way differently. So it's just like, we have to bring that awareness, because it can happen, and it is already happening. And I tell you that because I have clients who are 9 years old who are already diabetic. And it's very sad, very, very sad, because and they're obese, and they're 9, 10 years old, and they're already diabetic. They already have high blood pressure. So we have to put a stop to this. And the only way to do that is by knowing and being aware of it. As for in the past, a lot of people didn't know what diabetes is, but now there's no excuse. Now we have the internet, we have resources, and there's so many different ways how you can beat this. And it starts within you, and also wanting to take care of your family and not letting this become a generational continuation of diabetes, because it can be broken. Yes, most definitely. So you guys, I'll go ahead and leave the information. David, do you have anything to say as far as before we close up?
Here in the RGV, I know McAllen gets a lot of bad publicity for this, but really it's the entire Rio Grande Valley. But I know that according to Wallet Hub, McAllen, Edinburgh Mission, we are the most obese city in America. It's alarming, but those are facts. And like just hearing you talk about your personal story, Jennifer, same thing, to see your loved ones have to undergo amputations, to see them lose their eyesight, it doesn't hit you until it does. And we, you and I can preach about this, until we're blue in the face. And you're not going to take it seriously until it affects you personally. And my hope, I think, along with yours, is that don't wait that long. Do something about it now. You know what? If it's too late for us, that's fine. But for our kids' sake, just do something right now. You don't want to see them, like you said, when they're 30 years old, coming to you and telling you, I have diabetes now, or I have this or that. You're going to regret. You're going to live your remaining years in regret that you didn't do a better job of taking care of your kids. So my thing is, just take this seriously. Don't let it affect you if it can. Unfortunately, it could be an inevitable inheritance. Diabetes can. Don't let that happen. Just take it seriously now for the kids' future.
Absolutely. And that is going to be the biggest step for anyone in their home. And even if diabetes is not something that you're aware of or that you've seen, I guess, firsthand with your family, the obesity part, it eventually you will get diabetes. So just learning and going back to your why. And my why was right away, oh no, not my kids, not myself. This is not happening. When I seen that, it was very traumatizing, extremely traumatizing. So when I know that, here, especially here, we have that, well, this is our culture and this is how we eat, and we put all these excuses in front of it, but this is our culture. Yes, I'm Hispanic. This is our culture, but there can be portion control. And back in that time, our ancestors, they worked very hard. We work behind computers now. So there's a huge difference. So you got to really take that into consideration, like as far as the eating habits. I think, and as parents, it's our responsibility. We have to be responsible. And just taking those first steps, like I said, taking the initiation of actually taking your child to a park or getting out there to do some sort of physical activity with them. Put your phones away. I mean, the phones are not, believe me, they're not educating you or your children. If you're going through, unless you're really watching stuff that educates you, but this stuff is not really feeding you properly. Feed your mind with the proper education, because we only live once, right? And I think for me as a parent and a grandparent now, I do not want my children have to roll me around in a wheelchair because of an amputation, or I don't want to be a burden. I want them to be able to live their lives and be like, hey, my mom, she took care of herself, and I think we all have to do that for ourselves and for our children.
Yep.
Yeah. So thank you guys for watching. It was nice having you, David. I'm really excited to see what else is coming. I know that you have a lot of ideas, and it just having seen the little that I've seen, I was just like, wow, I wish this is going to be awesome. This is something that we need here and everywhere else, the whole United States. And I'm super excited for you. I'm extremely proud that you actually did something in memory and just, putting it to action and putting your time and dedication and going into the schools and educating the children. I mean, that's super awesome. It is extremely awesome. And the kids, they really need it. And who knows, maybe they'll go home and educate their parents.
Hopefully, yeah.
Right? So, all right. Well, you have a good one. Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.